What's up, guys? I know it has been forever since I've done a Carolina Panther video, but with NFL right around the corner, I need to brush up on some things, and the Panthers have made a couple of significant moves and just talk roster overall with those significant injuries we suffered in the shutout victory 21-0 over the Buffalo Bills. And some thoughts on the overall roster, but Zane Gonzalez being out with a significant groin injury and Sam Darnold, that brutal high ankle sprain, is not great. Zane was the stability we've been looking for at kicker. There's no resolution with that yet, but I'm sure it'll come tomorrow or in the coming days because you need a kicker, obviously. But the Panthers made a couple of moves today that are very significant, acquiring former second-round pick of the Jacksonville Jaguars wide receiver Laviska Shenault. And I have no idea if I said that right, and I apologize if I didn't. A 2023 7th-round pick and a 2024 6th-round pick is going back to the Jaguars. And I'm not going to pretend I watched the Jaguars at all, but from the measurables, 6'1", and the stats that he put up back-to-back years of at least 600 yards receiving, 2020, 58 receptions, 619 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 2021, 63 receptions, 619 yards, and 0 touchdowns, but I don't put much stock in the 0 touchdowns with the Urban Meyer mess. He kind of gives me Curtis Samuel vibes. And with Chuba Hubbard struggling a bit with the catching out of the backfield, he could be a hybrid weapon like we used Curtis Samuel in his last year with the Panthers, and just some different varieties in the offense, and not a lot for a highly touted kid coming out of Colorado. So I'm excited to see what this kid can do with a fresh start, a new offense, and really good weapons around him. Robbie Anderson, Christian McCaffrey, Rashad Higgins, Chuba Hubbard, DJ Moore, Shi Smith. I don't think this takes away from Shi Smith at all. It shouldn't, and I hope it doesn't, because he's been probably the breakout of this preseason so far for the Panthers. So I think this just gives us more variety in the offense and more opportunity to use Christian McCaffrey in the offense differently as decoy, things of that nature. It gives you more options and more ability in the passing game. It looks like Shenault can be a deeper threat as well. So I really like this trade for the value. Obviously, there's some naysayers on his route running, and so to speak. But again, fresh start, new team, new concepts, and still put up some pretty good numbers in a Jaguars offense that really, and team that didn't have any identity because Urban Meyer kind of ran that into the ground. So I'm looking forward to see what this kid brings, but it looks like a lot of potential for a little cost. Really like it. And just now we sent offensive lineman Dennis Daly to the Tennessee Titans and a 7th-round pick in 2024 for a 2024 5th-round pick. Again, this is great value because the Panthers were able to add a lot of black tie type of really good offensive linemen through the draft. Ike Ekwonu, Brady Christensen moving to the right side, next to Taylor Moton. And then you got Austin Colbert. Bradley Bozeman is recovering nicely from his leg injury. We kind of got lucky on that one. So the offensive line is pretty well solidified. And Dennis Daly, I haven't heard much from him, but he is a solid offensive lineman, and to be able to get a 5th round value out of a guy that we were probably going to cut is very, very nice from Scott Fitter, who loves trades. Excuse me. And I love these two. Very, very nice. Obviously, Terrence Marshall Jr. This may be the writing on the wall for him, or Andre Roberts, although I think Andre Roberts will still make it as return specialist because I think Shi Smith is too valuable in the overall offense, even though he can return kicks and is very explosive as well. Again, you got a variety and options throughout the offense, and I love what that brings. And this extra trade to the wide receiver room, I think, does that as well. I am upset that Matt Corral has that Liz Frank injury, kind of what spelled Cam Newton's end in Carolina, along with the shoulder issues. So I hope that's not a repeat there. Wish him the best. I don't really understand the management of Matt Corral during preseason, but what you gonna do with Matt Rule? But wish him a speedy recovery. Sam Darnold looks like it's gonna be a short-term IR with that nasty high ankle sprain, so that opens up another roster spot there. So the ability of Scott Fitter to find great value in C.J. Henderson has balled out this preseason as well, with returning J.C. Horn and Jeremy Chin doing Jeremy Chin things. The back end looks really good with Xavier Woods as well. So I'm going to trust Scott Fitter with this trade, and adding Shenault and his differing abilities in the offense gives me warm and fuzzy. So I'm really, really excited. And Baker Mayfield, he had me at reading his wide receivers and routes the first play of the game against the Commanders, the first preseason game. So in Baker we trust, and let's do this thing. As always, go Panthers, keep pounding, and we'll see what we got. This is going to be a wild ride this season, but it's going to be fun and interesting to watch. As always, keep pounding.